As entrepreneurs, we often like to think that we are self-sufficient, but what if I told you there was a way that you and your family could be more sufficient and efficient and a better, healthier performer? I'm here today with an awesome guest, Shelby DeVore, who is the founder of
Garden Farm Thrive.
Garden Farm Thrive.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what Garden Farm Thrive does.
So we teach women, oh man, it gives me chills when I think about it. We teach women all over the world how to do really cool things like grow amazing gardens in their backyard, have chickens and livestock. We also teach traditional skills. So we teach them how to produce more of their own food that's clean, organic, healthy, gets their bodies moving, but then also translate it into like how to do even more with it. So we talk about things like canning and preserving traditional foods, how to create more community, tighter knit
Wow.
families, like all the things. It's amazing. I love it.
So awesome. I have a couple thoughts already. I'm like, one, it takes a very special person to be an entrepreneur to begin with.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of obstacles. You have to be strong to go down that line of work. But then I think about the amount of work that it takes to manage a garden or to manage a home and to do like sourdough and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of work too. So obviously there's a very special individual behind that vision. So what brought you to that line of entrepreneurship and how did you maybe get into that?
That's a really good question. So I think I've always kind of had the want to do things for myself, and I'm super competitive. So I don't know if you're familiar with like Clifton Strengths.
I am.
Okay, competition is my number one strength. And so it really frustrates me when I see people that are doing things that are better than I
Yeah.
am, more efficiently than I am. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Why am I not doing that? Like, we're doing this the wrong way. So I've always had that piece of me. I've always been pretty driven as well.
Sure.
And I think that kind of goes with like competition. I'm also very goal oriented. And so that piece of it just made sense for me. But I didn't actually take initiative on that until several years ago. So I kind of went down the traditional path, like successful path that everybody hears about.
Sure.
Go to college, get good grades, get a
You're
good
totally fine
job.
to bring it in.
Thank you. Go to college, get good grades, you'll get a good paying job. And that was kind of the avenue that I went. I actually thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I was smart, made good grades in school, and I love animals. When you have that combination as a kid, everybody tells you the same thing. Oh, you need to go to vet school. You need to be a vet. And so that was the route that I pursued. So I'm getting my bachelor's degree, and that was kind of the plan was like, I'm going to go to vet school and I'm going to get a good paying job doing something that I love, right? Super passionate about animals. When you're trying to build an application to get into vet school, it is brutal. And one of the pieces that they tell you is you need to have like a ridiculous number of volunteer hours doing stuff that's animal related.
Okay.
Like we're talking like 2,000 plus hours.
Wow.
And you've got like 4 years to make this happen, right? Like,
But that's
which-
still a lot of volunteer hours
It's-
over the course of a couple
it's
years.
a lot. So, thankfully, I got my bachelor's degree at Mississippi State. They have their own vet school. And so if you go into there with the intention of like getting into vet school, it's a really easy process to sign up to be a volunteer. And I thought, okay, this is it. I'm going to do that. Do you know I hated it?
Really?
I got to the point where I dreaded going to volunteer because it's such a high stress environment.
Sure.
And, people, they bring their animals in, which is like a family member to them. They're stressed out, and they don't just bring them in for checkups. Like most of the patients that you would see, like it's life or death situation, family's super stressed,
Yeah.
So it was just constant stress. And so that started to put a bug in me that I don't know if I want to do this. This doesn't feel amazing. And we had something called the pre-vet club. And every Wednesday night we would meet, and it was all of the students that were trying to get into vet school. And so we would have different people come talk to us each week about how to make your application better. We would, the topics were like, it's like ran the gamut of improving your application, what to expect when
Yeah.
you get in vet school, all of the things. And I remember a lady coming and talking to us and about the fact that she was in vet school. She had gotten her bachelor's degree, spent a bunch of money on that, was going through the vet school program, spending a lot of money on that. And she said, by the time I graduate vet school, I will owe right at $500,000.
Wow.
And the average salary for veterinarians is about $55,000-$60,000.
No joke.
And when
10 years of salary.
yes. And
Wow.
when I heard that, I thought, I can't do that. That was my entire plan. I was a junior in college
Mhm.
when I heard that. And I thought, I already don't feel awesome about just volunteering.
Yeah.
I can't imagine spending $500,000 and then maybe not even like making a good return on that,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So my entire career path shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I had been involved with some research projects, again, trying to fluff up my application for vet school. So I did some reproductive research with dairy cows. So random fact about me. And I really enjoyed that. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll go like the PhD route.
Okay.
And I'll teach and do research because I'm obsessed with animals and agriculture and all of the things. I could talk your head off for days about that.
Mm-hmm.
So shifted my path my junior year, and nobody told me it is super hard to go that route, especially in something like agriculture, because the
Sure.
spots for those jobs are just very, very limited.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my bachelor's degree, moved back home. The doors kind of opened for me to teach agriculture and work on my master's degree at the same time. And so that's what I did. I thought I was like making progress until I had been doing it for a few years, had my master's degree, was doing all of the things, and I had topped out my salary at like $40,000 a year.
Wow.
And I thought, I have spent so much time, so much money, I have so much knowledge
Yeah.
that I feel like, I know I was teaching students and they were getting stuff out of it, but I didn't feel like I was making a real difference like I could have been,
Sure.
turning it into a business and reaching the masses.
Mhm.
So I just kind of got to the point where I was tired of not making money, having a stressful job, working crazy hours. And it was almost like that last resort thing
Yeah.
that happened. And so December 2019 is when I officially retired from teaching and started trying to pursue an online business. And it blew my mind that I could do something that I absolutely love, reach so many people.
Yeah.
Like we have had people that we've impacted in like some of the remote places in the world that like don't have internet, which blows my mind. They found us. Like it's just nuts.
Yeah.
I never would have been able to do that in the position that I was in before. And on top of that, to generate like a nice income for my family where we can leave a legacy for our kids. Like I look at it from that lens and I'm like, why would you do it any other way?
Mhm.
It's so that's kind of how we got into it and how I got started.
Well, I love that story. And you've talked about something that I'm always preaching. It feels like you had this obsession with animals.
Mm.
you loved learning and the research behind it, you were really able to take your passion, create a business around it, and then also share that with the world to a point where
Yes.
now you can actually leverage your passion to make the world a better place for other people.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I think that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, right? You can do something that you love, you can make a difference, and not just a difference for yourself and your family, but also make a difference for your community.
Yes.
And that makes a difference at scale. And I'm very passionate about seeing people who get into that.
Can I share a story with you real
Please
quick?
do.
Oh my gosh, this story gives me chill bumps still. So, it was like, I think it was like 3 months after I started, really pursuing this and trying to turn it into a business. We had, a lady reach out to us. She was having an issue with her chicken. She couldn't figure out what was going on. She had taken it to the vet and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And so she'd reached out to me, and I had actually seen this in the vet school, and I was like, "Oh, you're dealing with this condition. It's called water belly. There's not really a cure for it, but you can potentially treat it." And I gave her some options, and she was so excited. It worked. She sent us an email and was like, "Oh my gosh, you." It was kind of nuts. She her chicken lived inside, and it was like a whole thing. But she was super excited, and she had told me that she had tried to do research, and when I told her what it was, she tried to look up the condition. She couldn't find any information about it. And so I wrote a blog post and compiled all the information because I thought, if she has this question
How many
and
other
she
people?
can't find it, exactly, how many other people have this question? So I wrote the blog post, and probably 6 months go by. And I forgot about it, right? This conversation happened. I helped her. That was amazing. Well, we get this email from this guy. And at first I thought it was a scam, because the English was bad and it was kind of broken, and I'm like, is this a scam email
Sure.
or not? Um, but it was a guy who had read our article about water belly, and he lived in a really remote village in Kenya. And he was responsible for raising all of the meat chickens that was the meat source for his village. That was his job. There was no go to the grocery store and get
Yeah.
it. That was their meat source. And he started losing chickens, hundreds of chickens. This is his village's source of protein for the year. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So he's freaking out. They don't have veterinarians where he is, so that wasn't an option. And so we get an email from him, and I'm like, "Oh, this is what's going on." I pulled up the scientific names of some treatments that he could try, because I wasn't really sure what he had access to. So I gave him all of the ideas, and I was like, "Get whatever you can find. These are your options. Obviously, I'm not a vet, but you don't even have access to a vet, so this is better than
Yeah.
you know
Better
than
than nothing.
anything." And let me know how it goes. And I didn't hear from him for a couple of weeks, and I again kind of forgot about it. Well, he reached back out to me to let me know that um, it the treatment, he was able to find something. It actually worked. And this is when he told me, we raise a couple of thousand chickens each year for our village. That is our protein source. We had already lost a couple of hundred. He didn't have internet where he lived, so he had to get on a bus, drive one way 3 hours to do you remember those old computer lab lounge things? It was like that situation.
Wow.
Then he got a card for 30 minutes, and he stumbled across that article and reached out to us. And I mean, I just think about the impact that stuff like that has,
Definitely.
that we never would have been able to do any other way.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about what was that man and his situation like?
For sure.
And honestly, the fact that you pursued a business and a blog post in your area of passion potentially saved the lives of people in that village.
Exactly.
Your passion may have very well prevented starvation.
Exactly.
Holy smokes. I mean, talk about
Mm.
pursuing, your beliefs and making the world a better place through that effort.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. No one has ever shared a story like that on my
Well,
podcast before.
well,
I'm a
I'm
little
glad
bit stunned.
it's like I said, it still amazes me.
Yeah.
Like he literally was probably at his wit's end and didn't know what to do, and I'm sure was having some of those thoughts of like, if I can't fix this,
My
what
friends,
is
my family, we
exactly,
perish.
exactly.
Holy smokes.
And then he found us from, just this blog post that I put up, and yeah, it's really good. But we I feel like that's an extreme case,
Yeah.
but we do hear probably at least a couple of times a week from people that we have impacted positively in various ways. Different people of just last night, we were at a mastermind session, and I had actually asked for some help in my business and was getting some input from other entrepreneurs. And at the end, somebody stood up and said, "Oh, I just wanted to let you know, by the way, this doesn't really answer your question, but I went through your stuff because I was trying to see how your business was running." And he said, "I actually learned stuff that rekindled the marriage that my wife and I have."
Holy
And
smokes.
I was, I cried. I was like, thank you for telling me, but you can have so much impact and do stuff that you love at the same time. Like
Definitely.
it's amazing.
So I know that faith also plays a role
Yes.
in your business too. It does with mine for sure. But hearing things like that, to me, I always just take that as a sign. It's like God telling you you are on the right path. You're doing what you're supposed to do
Mm-hmm.
because you're making such a positive impact in everyone's lives around you. And you can just see that there's genuine good stemming from your efforts.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we kind of talked about your background and how you got into this business. Let's talk about the business itself. I'm curious,
Okay.
you teach homesteading, and it seems like it's pretty all encompassing when it comes to that term.
Yes.
So how do you, package that in a way that you can present? You said you do this online, correct?
Yes, we do it online. And I think one of the things is, I think a lot of people get hung up on how you can present things, and the fact that it needs to be in person versus virtual and all of that stuff. So when I was a teacher,
Mhm.
we could do like one-on-one things. We could do hands-on stuff with the kids. But if you think about it from a teaching perspective, it's not that much different teaching a classroom or a college classroom as to how you would do it online, because it's still
Exactly.
like one to many, right? It's not one-on-one all the time. So we do a lot of like video demonstrations. And I like to think about how different people learn and different people consume content. So again, going back to the time when I was a teacher, I learned different people learn and retain information in different ways.
Mhm.
So some people have to do it with their hands. So if we're talking about planting a garden, it's not going to click for them until they're physically doing it themselves with their hands.
Definitely.
Some people just need to watch a video. Some people read. Some people prefer to listen. So we put all of our resources inside of a membership program, and we have all of those different modes of learning
Yeah.
for people. So um, with our kind of our lower ticket membership program, it's a little bit harder to get that hands-on one-on-one thing, but we try to create resources that they can take out with them that like I'm just thinking about, we have a seed starting guide, for example,
Mhm.
which is kind of a technical process. So it's more like a more advanced gardening process. But we have a guide where we've got a lot of pictures, lots of illustrations, and it's very like step 1, you're going to do this. Step 2, you're going to do this. So even though I'm not there with them, it's as close to that as they could get. And
Yeah.
then if they don't want like the printout version, we've got videos that they can pause and go step by step. So I do think some people get hung up, and I did the same thing. Like, how do I teach this
Yeah.
virtually? How do I show people? And I do the best I can. And I think people are getting more and more used to learning things online. Whereas
Definitely.
maybe 10 years ago, it would have been a lot harder to, people would have had more resistance to learning stuff online. I think it's a little bit easier now.
So you brought up a couple things that I want to unpack, and I'm sure I'm going to start talking about one and forget the others. You mentioned how you started packaging the information. And in the Army, what you described is called a step action drill. It's step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. If you're looking for a place to start on how to teach a process, I always found that it was easiest for me to go back and create the step action drill of how to do something or implement something or execute the framework. So I end up coaching, leadership and team development. And that's something that I often end up teaching people to implement, is just the process of simplifying into steps so that anyone can read it and learn it.
Yes.
The other thing that I thought was really important, you just mentioned, and I hope our viewers picked up on it too. You talked about learning everything you could learn in veterinary medicine and the things that you were learning through the volunteer and the experience. Then you talked about learning how other people learn. And then you talked about learning how to teach and sell one-to-many. The concept of continuous learning, I think, is absolutely necessary for entrepreneurs. If you're not continually learning, you're not staying at the forefront of your game and field. And at some point, you are giving people an outdated, underdeveloped product or service. So if you're always learning, you're always improving, you're always in a position to continue winning.
Yep.
I'm a big advocate of that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's really, really an awesome kind of setup for business. One of the problems that a lot of my listeners have, and I know they have it because they message me and I have it too, and so I don't have anything great to tell them, is the community building aspect. So, people think that their world is a little bit too niche to do something online and drive traffic to it. But when I think about, well, that's not true. Anyone can do it with their passion project. You're doing it with homesteading. How do you create the sense of community that people feel the belonging and the desire, they want to join and learn from you?
That's a really good question. So, like I mentioned, we have a membership program, which a big piece of that has to be community.
Definitely.
So how we have this conversation all the time. How can we constantly improve our community? And to kind of reiterate on the fact, like, you're always learning new things as a business owner and an entrepreneur. And that goes for like all aspects of your business, right? So we're constantly looking at how can we improve? What are things that other people are doing that we can implement and put that into play to make our business like the place that people want to go to, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to community, it's actually not as hard as you think to build an amazing community when you find your people. So when you find your people, which I think is a lot easier to do if you are very niched. So we have identified our target customer is a busy mom. She's interested in this lifestyle. She usually homeschools, stay-at-home mom, or she has a job that she wishes she was a stay-at-home mom, right? Like she wants to make that transition. So that's about half of our audience. The other half is also a mom, but she's in a different phase of life. So she's an empty nester, recently retired, and suddenly has time, whereas before she didn't have the time. So one of the cool things that we do is we do the basic stuff. So like we offer a private Facebook group for our people. And we're very picky about who is in. So like you're only allowed in if you're positive, if you don't have positive things to say, we kick you out of the program, refund you your money, whatever, because we
Yeah.
want to cultivate that encouraging space. Because let's be honest, there are brutal
Be gone, bird.
free Facebook groups that people can go
Yeah.
to. You know, so if they come at it with that mentality, they need to be in a free Facebook group somewhere else.
We have a friend.
I-
I know he's in the frame of the camera. So I love that. I was talking to Jessica Cunningham last night.
Love her.
She did the last episode of the podcast. And she actually brought up, the fear of, maybe fear is not the right way to phrase it, but the question and second guessing that comes with removing people from your Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
My thought on that was that it's actually a positive thing for your community building, right?
It is.
If you maintain toxicity in your community and in your group, the group will deteriorate. You'll lose morale. You'll lose the joy in the community sense that people have, and they won't want to be there anymore.
Exactly.
It's like I was telling Michael, your husband, at lunch, Reddit was a cesspool that I want absolutely nothing to do with. I won't go on there and advertise. I won't go on there and promote business, just because there's so much negativity. There's so much tearing people down.
Yes.
I try very hard to associate with people that are going to build up the people around them in their communities.
Yeah.
So I love the concept of homesteading also for that, because you're building people's capability.
Yes.
You're feeding their interest. And like I said at the start of the podcast with my totally awesome hook, you're making a version of them that's more capable, more self-reliant.
Yes.
And in the end, I think, the outcome is also a healthier individual, mentally as well as physically.
Yes.
Because, your food, your intake, those things make a difference, right?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Have you had any, I guess, if you don't mind me asking, the case study or the review about how homesteading has influenced people's health? I'm just kind of curious about that.
Oh, totally. Totally we have. So we, before I forget, I do want to circle back to, we just started implementing something new in our community that I think works really, really well.
Okay,
so we
let's
can circle back to that. You want to do it now, or you want to come back to it?
Let's do it now while we're on community.
Okay.
Sorry, the health thing was just kind of I know that if I homestead, I'm eating healthier because I'm eating my own homegrown things. So I was thinking about health. But community, I want to know about the community.
Okay, let's do community.
Because you're probably way better at building a community than you give yourself credit for. And the reason I know this is because my wife has known you for 24 hours and she is sold. She's in love.
Really?
She wants to join the program. And she just met you.
Okay,
but
good.
she feels the sense of belonging that you would expect someone to have after maybe, months of ongoing communication and community building. But it's like you said, you know your avatar, your people, and she's the stay-at-home mom. She's busy with kids. She gets into their activities, and she wants to do more when it comes to the self-reliance and the traditional,
Well, you just send her our way. When you guys get ready, you just send her our way. We'll take care of her.
I think Michael actually sold her at lunch.
Oh, okay. Well, we will take care of her. So I mentioned that we have two core groups of women, right?
Okay.
So we have moms that have younger kids at home. Life feels insanely nuts. Some days they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, much less like trying to learn all of this other stuff. And then we've got, that scared me.
Oh. There's like an iguana on the ground next to us.
A kind of large iguana. So we have this group of women who have told us, some days I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to make it through another day. We've also got this group of women
It's coming up under you, just so you know.
Okay. Who is a little older, a little wiser. They've had kids, they've been in those situations, and they've been in those scenarios. So we actually had a lady reach out to us, and she said, I noticed that a lot of women in this group are older than me, and they're, their kids are grown, or they're in, they've got all this extra time, and I don't know that I belong. And so I dug into the demographics of our group, and I thought, like, I, I want to make sure before I reach out to her that, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, oh, we do have kind of two sets of women. We need to use this to our advantage. And this actually came to me at a Bible study that I participated in, that our church does, where all of the older women who are empty nesters, their kids are grown, they have all this time, they do a very small group Bible study with the women who are like my age. They have younger kids at home, life is busy, and it's a 6-week Bible study that you go through. We met once a week. They catered to us.
Yeah.
And it was so eye-opening, just all of the wisdom that they could pour into us. So when this woman reached out to us, I had the thought of, we have these two groups of women. Why don't we do the same thing?
Yeah.
Why don't we have these older women who, like, if, let's say we have a woman that has 3 kids that are sick and they're all trying to make it to soccer practice and all the stuff, let's pair them up with one of the older women to where if they need help and they need that wisdom to tap into, it's there.
That's really awesome.
And we've reached out to our members and we were like, is this something you guys would be interested in? Like almost like a mentorship type program. And they went nuts. They were like, oh my God. And on both ends, we had women that were like, oh my gosh, I would love to teach what I'm doing, or I would love to like help women that are where I have been. And,
Holy
the
smokes.
younger women were like, oh my gosh, I need that so bad. And so I think if you can, part of what we do is all about solving problems, right? And it just felt like an easy way to solve so many problems at the same time. And then like with our older women, they're empty nesters. Their kids have left and they're in a weird spot of, I don't feel needed anymore.
Yeah.
And this gives them a way to, so good, right?
So good.
Yeah.
What a genius move. We're out here at Mastermind in Paradise in Cancun. One of the things that's kind of been a repetitive topic that's come up the last couple of days is the thing that, people want to be recognized, the people in your community.
Yes.
And we need to do a good job of doing it. And while this isn't necessarily handing someone an award, this is recognizing the experience and the value that those women can bring, not only to themselves, but to other people's lives, and not just to your community, but to the growth as a whole for the organization. It's genius because you leverage your existing people while also filling a need that they have.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Good,
really
right?
smart.
I, like I said, I wish I would have come up with the idea myself. I was kind of influenced by going through that program, but, yeah, I mean, just that little things like that, I think are the type of community people are looking for. We're so sucked into our phones and social media and screens that I noticed, even 10 years ago when I was teaching, that the kids that I was teaching and we would have conversations about this openly, and they would tell me they knew that like what they viewed as a friendship wasn't a real friendship. Like they recognized that, but they were so ingrained in like their phones and social media and all the things that
you don't feel as connected.
Exactly. So we just try to be intentional about how can we make people feel more connected. Another fun thing that we did for our members last Saturday was we did a family fun day for our members. Everybody in the membership program was invited. We had it, I live in Fort Worth, so we had it in downtown Fort Worth at the historic stockyards.
Right on.
Very cool. They like do live cattle drives through the middle of downtown Fort Worth. It's like Cowboy Central. It's amazing. And we bought everybody's lunch.
Mhm.
So we told people, bring your spouse, bring your families, like, let's just go have fun. I didn't have an agenda. We just wanted to hang out with our members.
Yeah.
The member that drove the furthest drove 12 hours to be there for like a 4-hour
No
day
joke.
and
Wow.
was thrilled
That's
to be there.
community.
That's community. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she signed up and she said, I'm coming, send me the details later. Like, she didn't even care. She just wanted to be there and wanted to meet people in person that she had been talking to online,
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
amazing. Amazing.
I love that. I actually just a week or two ago, I was down in the Fort Worth area speaking at a different mastermind,
Nice.
but I had the thought afterwards, I was flying a few hours, spending the night, flying back a few hours just to be around and talk to other people on a similar journey, learning. And, something you touched on over the last decade, really the last 15 years, we've become more and more digitally dependent.
Yes.
And that's stemmed down into our kids' lives and social media. And I know, now the more and more we become AI dependent and the more AI generated content is out there, we know that it's not real. Kind of like you mentioned, those kids knew those friendships weren't maybe real friendships,
Right.
but like it leaves us with a craving for that community aspect.
Yes.
So I think what you're doing, building the community around not just selling an info product or selling coaching, but to have the community aspect, I think that's something necessary that all the young entrepreneurs or the new entrepreneurs, you should be striving to find a way to implement that into your business.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, as we become more AI dependent and that content takes over the world, it leaves us more and more wanting authentic and real connection.
100%.
One that leaves us feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not forgetting the health stuff.
Yes. Okay. How much time do you have?
Literally, I will go forever.
Okay. So, let's talk about this because this is, I had an epiphany moment a few years ago. So a little bit of additional background about myself. I am from very rural Tennessee. Everybody farmed. Everybody had livestock.
Shout out to my Aunt Pam.
So I grew up on a small farm. We had a large garden. My mom canned every summer. We did a lot of food preservation. To put it in context, the closest Walmart was like not even open 24 hours. It's like a small Walmart. And it was like 45 minutes on the highway driving to get to it. So it was like 70 miles away.
Yeah.
Not super close,
Not a
right?
convenient trip.
Yes, yes. So we learned a lot of these traditional skills just kind of out of necessity,
Sure.
right? I grew up that way. I thought that's what everybody did. And I got to college and my first apartment balcony had a vegetable garden on it. And I remember I was picking a tomato one day and this guy like walks past my apartment balcony and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, have a tomato in my hand. And I'm like, picking a tomato? What are you doing? And he was like, his mind was blown. He was like, "You know how to grow tomatoes?" And I was like,
Doesn't
doesn't everybody know how to do this? And
That's
anyway,
my most successful crop, by the way.
is it?
Yes.
Nice. That's kind of one of the more complicated ones to grow. Did
Is
you
it
know
really?
that? Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I set up my little tomato, what are they called? Tomato baskets.
Oh, yeah?
Plant my seed. I let the thing grow. I water it.
Okay. Look, if you can
I'm
grow
really
a tomato,
basic about that stuff.
if you can grow a tomato, you can grow anything. So that was kind of my first, people don't know how to do this,
Yeah.
which I've always been fascinated by. So, I guess I kind of took it for granted, that growing up as a kid, we raised a lot of the meat that we ate, and it was before like grass fed and pasture raised and free range were like trendy topics. That's
Yeah.
just how we did things. And so we had access to really, really nutrient dense food, fresh food as a kid. And my husband and I got married. We had our own farm. We started doing the same thing. We had a large garden. We had an orchard. We had a milk cow and goats and chickens and like you name it, we had it, right? Um, March of 2021, March 16th, actually, I was 30 years old at the time. I had a heart attack and I had a stroke. And I did not have any pre-existing conditions. There was no logical reason that it should have happened.
Huh.
I had a spontaneous coronary artery dissection, which basically means your artery just bursts open on the back of my heart in 2 different places. So it's just pumping blood into my chest cavity, essentially. It's a very, very rare thing that happens. So we didn't just get a cardiologist. We got a team of cardiologists. They came into the room and explained to us what happened and said, my first question was, so why did this happen? Like, what was it? The food that we eat? Am I not active enough? Like, what are we doing wrong? And they said, well, actually, it's none of those things. We don't really know what causes it, but we can count on our hands how many people this has happened to. So we don't know much about it. The only thing that we do know is it could be hormonally related. It could be genetic. It usually happens in younger women who've recently had a baby. My third child was 6 months old at the time. So she was young, but not like brand new.
Yeah, it wasn't immediate.
Yeah. But what got me was they said, the only thing that we do know is from this point on, you will always have a 1 out of 5 chance that this is going to happen again. And you got lucky where it happened, which completely changed the question, from why did this happen to how do we keep this from happening? Or if it happens again, since I am obviously high risk for this, how can I set myself up to survive if it does happen again? And I was going through physical therapy, which when something like that happens, it's really tacky. So like I was 30 years old doing cardiac physical therapy. I had had a stroke, so I'm doing physical therapy for that. Everybody else in the room with me doing physical therapy was like 80, not 30. So I had a really good conversation with one of my cardiologists one day, and I told him, I don't want to be on medication for this the rest of my life. I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
I do not want to take statins and blood pressure medicine and aspirin and, they put you on, they call it the heart attack protocol.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. Like I just don't want to take medication every single day of my life. So what do I need to do to change so that we don't have to do that?
Yeah.
And he brought up the idea of blue zones. We had been around each other enough that he knew I love to research things. I would go deep on things.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you really need to look into this because I think that would be just a really great lifestyle for you. Are you familiar with what blue zones are?
No, I'm not.
Okay. So there's a researcher that identified 5 places in the world where the average lifespan is 20 to 30 years longer on average.
Okay, I am familiar with this.
Than the Western lifespan, right? They also have the highest rate of centenarians, which are people that are over 100 years old. And so my doctor said, I think you should look into what these people are doing and, just do as much of it as you can. And Parker, it blew my mind because you look at what people in blue zones are doing. You look at what people who want to homestead, want like this homegrown lifestyle, what they're trying to accomplish. It is the same thing. It's literally the same thing. So some of the pillars between the two are access to fresh, organic, homegrown food. So like food right out of your back door.
Yeah.
People in these blue zone lifestyle or blue zone areas, they're growing their own food. Their main form of exercise is actually gardening in blue
Wow.
zones. Like that's what they consider exercise. They're not going out for a run. They're not jogging. They're not doing triathlons or heavy weightlifting. It's gardening. It's walking.
Yeah.
It's just moving your body more throughout the day in
Yeah,
natural
it's just
ways.
consistent activity.
Yes, yes. So that was a big one for me. Community and purpose and intention is also like key in blue zones,
For sure.
which is the same stuff that people interested in homesteading want, right? Like they're looking for community. They want tighter knit families. They want intentional time with their kids.
Definitely.
And so as I'm reading, I mean, I just devoured the research around blue zones and I was like, why do more people not connect the dots
Yeah.
on these two things? So we've really started putting more of that idea out there to people that you can take your backyard and create a mini blue zone
Mhm.
in your backyard, like for your family. It's not super complicated. It's not super time consuming. I mean, the people that live in these blue zones, they do this as a community. So it's not like they are completely like 100% self-sufficient as a family. They're doing it as a community.
Yeah.
So let's say like you and I live next door to one another. Maybe you're really good at growing tomatoes. And so you grow enough tomatoes for both of us. I'm really good at raising chickens. So I'm going to raise chickens for both of us. And we just swap. That's literally what the people in these blue zones are doing to kind of cut out the middleman of the grocery store. And when you look at, I mean, the people in these areas, they don't take prescription medications. They don't take supplements.
Yeah.
They get everything that they need from their food supply. It's fresh. It's nutrient dense. It's like you can't get any more local or fresh than what you can get out of your
Yeah,
backyard.
absolutely.
So we do talk about that a lot. And we'll just talk briefly about the nutrient density of food. We'll talk about spinach. So spinach has a really high vitamin content. Vitamins in any type of food have a half-life, so they break down over time. They're not shelf stable,
Sure.
essentially. It's a naturally formed compound, and naturally formed compounds break down over time. So when you harvest spinach, people think, oh, I'm going to get a lot of vitamin A from this and zinc and like all of these other nutrients. Not necessarily. Even if you're buying organic, even if you're buying, looking at the label and picking the use by date that's the furthest out. Because the reality is, as soon as that is harvested, those nutrients immediately start to break down. So
Yeah.
some of your produce, the nutrients break down within like 12 hours and they're gone. So that's like 12 hours after harvesting. So some of the shipping times, by the time it gets to you, it's been in
for sure.
shipment for like 6 weeks. So yeah, it's healthy in the sense there's nothing bad in it for you, but you're still not getting the same quality.
Yeah,
So
you're not getting the vitamins or nutrients inside of it that you
yeah,
think you're getting.
exactly. And then people wonder why the supplement industry is massive
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's not in our food anymore. So
I was curious. Part of the reason I asked earlier, so I have arthritis in my right shoulder stemming from a dislocation that happened when I was on active duty in the Army. And I noticed that when I'm eating, I'm going to use the term healthier, but maybe that's not exactly the right term. But, we typically run a garden in our backyard and, I grow tomatoes, I grow jalapenos, we do cucumbers, strawberries. Really, we have just a variety of fruits and veggies that we can grow, some peaches, plums, apples, pears. And when I eat those, I notice, and I wonder if it's, maybe connected to the antioxidant level in different fruits and foods or whatever, but I notice that I have less arthritic symptoms if I eat those consistently. And it's not necessarily that I'm only eating those things. We still, eat other stuff and DoorDash and whatever.
Yeah.
But I notice that when I eat those things, it almost has a similar effect as taking like ibuprofen or curcumin
Yes.
what's it called? Supplement. How embarrassing, awkward. We
It's
just use the
okay.
word. Yeah. So I'm an advocate for sure for growing some of your own stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm trying to learn, more about the different things. For example, I'm learning about B vitamins and your purple foods and the role that those antioxidants play in cancer prevention.
Yes.
And I'm like, how do people not take the time, I guess, to learn or know about that stuff when
Yeah.
you have the option? For example, I know you teach about raised garden beds. We have 4 raised garden beds at our house. We use them to grow our food, or at least, a little bit of our food. But like, you could grow things to provide that supplement to literally prolong your life
Yes.
and prevent cancer.
Yes, you
Like, who
can.
wouldn't want to do that?
Exactly. Exactly. It is. And I think honestly, people probably think it is more complicated to understand the benefits, or maybe they think, well, I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know these
Yeah.
things, and they just kind of brush it off, where it's like you said, like, who wouldn't want to do that, right? Like, and you mentioned purple foods. I thought this was interesting because you can look at the blue zones, and every blue zone has a local purple food that is like a staple part
No
of their diet.
joke.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But you mentioned the arthritis.
Mhm.
So, that's okay. I have broken 17 bones in my left foot from the ankle down.
Wow.
And so I've had a bone graft. Part of the foot died and actually was rotten inside, and they had to take some of it out and like reconstruct some stuff. Like, it's nuts. I I will get wicked arthritis in that foot. When I eat clean and keep a lot of those fresh, organic, healthier foods in
Yeah,
my
definitely.
diet, I don't even notice that it's an issue. If
Mm.
I, let's say, go off track and like I'll use this as an example. We went to Florida about a month ago on vacation, and we were there for 3 weeks,
Mhm.
which is another amazing thing about being an entrepreneur. You can like shape this incredible life. But
Yeah.
we went to Florida for 3 weeks with our kids. We spent like a week in Disney. There's nothing healthy to eat at Disney.
Nope.
And by the end of the trip, my foot actually bothered me for the first time in like 3 years.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, it's because we're eating like
Everything
trash.
is processed.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's specifically processed foods. And when I'm saying processed foods, I'm talking about the chips and the fried things.
Yes.
And like you said, I don't necessarily get the same aches or pains when I eat the tomatoes from the supermarket.
Yeah.
We're not getting the benefit, but I don't get the same
Exactly.
problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go to Disney World every other year or so. And I have a similar problem, especially you're out in the parks, you're eating the park food.
Yeah.
At best, you're getting a fried turkey leg,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Struggle is real.
Okay, so we've touched on, your background. We've talked about your business, what you do, why it matters, and how it can change people's lives. For our young entrepreneurs, is there anything that you're doing in your business that is particularly successful that you could maybe share with them that they could learn from and maybe implement?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So we have a lot of success with a summit funnel. So
I just learned about these summit funnels. It's new to me.
it's amazing. It's amazing. So And we were actually talking about the differences between a summit funnel and a challenge funnel. And, funnels are just ways that we get people into our world and get them into our ecosystem. So, a challenge, I picture somebody going through a challenge and having like a specific outcome by
Yeah.
the end of the challenge. So, like I shared with you at lunch, we have a sourdough challenge where it's 7 days and we teach women how to create a starter that they can use to bake sourdough bread. Um, and then we push people into our membership program on the back end of that, where they can then go through our entire sourdough course and they have access to all of our recipes and our baking videos and all of that content.
Okay.
So that's how I picture a challenge is they come up with there's some desired outcome by the end of it. And then your course or your membership is the next logical step, right?
Yeah.
So you give them a little win and then they go into your program. So a lot of people think of summit funnels as being one-off events, and we actually do them differently. We actually coach. We have some clients going through our coaching program for this called the Summit Scale System,
Okay.
where we teach them how to take a one-off event that was successful and turn it into like like an automated webinar or an automated challenge, but it's an automated summit that will run weekly for them. So the way it works is we have affiliates that promote these. We also do a lot of paid ads. So we push people to a free registration page. The summit is free to attend, which is great if you have a lot of time, right? Each presentation is dripped out. It's available for free for 24 hours. So you can just go through the presentations. It's a 3-day event.
Yeah.
And we have really amazing content that we have different curated speakers come and present on. And so that's the free option. So anytime you run paid traffic, you need to sell something, right?
Yeah.
So we sell an upgraded ticket in the back, which we call an all access pass. So with the free ticket, there are no recordings. You have a 24-hour window to watch the content. If you miss it, you miss it.
Yeah.
Our all access pass gives them unlimited access, actually gives them instant and unlimited access to all of the presentations. And we've got some extra stuff in there, like there's a workbook that goes along with it. They get a podcast version of the summit. So if they just want to listen.
Okay.
We also have, we like to tell them that we took all of the notes for them. So we have edited transcripts. So if they want to like highlight along, we've got everything written down for them. We also turn them into 1-page cheat sheets.
Yeah.
So if they want to come back 6 months from now and they're like, who was it that was talking about, companion planting or strawberries or whatever, they can look at the cheat sheet. They don't have to sift through all of the content to try to find it. And then our speakers also put their own bonuses in there as well. So there's like additional recipes and little mini workshops and courses and stuff. So that is an amazing package for people. And they can upgrade their ticket from a free ticket, get access to all of this amazing stuff.
Can we talk about how awesome that is real quick?
Yeah.
So if you didn't pick up on this, right? Traffic is being driven to a summit funnel and they have the option for a free ticket.
Yes.
And the free ticket lets them view everything within that 24-hour period. Now, keep in mind, they're still getting the same presentations. They're still being sold on your course or your coaching program, right? And the beauty here is that there's also the VIP paid ticket.
Yes.
That gives you all of the awesome benefits, the notes, the transcripts, everything.
Yeah.
But then it's unlimited access, right? The beauty here is that you can immediately have a paid thing that covers the cost of running the ads to get more people into the summit funnel.
Yes.
So you're able to run essentially a lot of people in the coaching or info product space. They run ads at a loss on the front end, knowing they make their money on the back end. But what Shelby's talking about here allows you to run ads without a loss on the front end.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. And it's a concept I never would have thought of before today. And we've seen people sell VIP tickets before, but I don't think they're doing it with that intent. And that purpose is just a way to get a little bit more money. And
So can I even blow your mind a little bit more?
please do.
Okay. So they get all of this amazing stuff in the all access pass. That in itself converts well. And like we talked about, it will cover your ad spend. And then when we go through the summit, we pitch them, our membership program. We're constantly talking about that. But there's an additional piece in our all access pass that is so good, so good. So it's kind of falls along with the linchpin idea, right? Of making an offer to get somebody into your membership program. Because for me, and I know for a lot of people that do like info products, courses, memberships, you want that monthly recurring revenue in the background, right? I'm so pumped about this. So in our all access pass, we include a free trial to our membership program. And our content for the all access pass is actually housed inside of our membership program. So we kind of double dip here a little bit. So we've actually set this up a couple of different ways. So we have made it optional to where they can take advantage of this if we want to with like an opt-in system. We're currently running an opt-out system to where it automatically puts them into our membership and we let them know like with reminders and stuff.
Yeah.
We're very upfront about it. We don't want to scam people and let them know like, hey, you're in this, take advantage of it while you have it. If you don't want it, no worries. Like you can cancel it anytime. And honestly, even if they forget to cancel, if they reach out to us, we just refund them their money.
Sure.
We want them to get in and get results. And so our all access pass is built out inside of our membership program. So they're actually logging in to our membership to get to their all access pass. Now, if they back out and say, well, I want to keep, they get lifetime access when they buy the all access pass. So we do have some people that back out and say, well, I don't want the membership. Do I still keep my all access pass? And it's like, yeah, of course, you bought lifetime access to that. So our system, we're able to tag them as just being able to access this one block. They can see all of this other stuff,
but they can't
access it.
But sooner or later, they see something they want.
Exactly. And there are, if they click on something, they see a message that's like, oh, you don't currently have access to this. This is restricted for our Academy members. Would you like to upgrade? And so it's all over the place,
You're constantly putting the Academy upgrade back into the forefront of their mind.
Yes.
And sooner or later, they're going to come around.
Exactly. Yeah. So that all happens on the front end. So everybody, like I said, right now we're using an opt-out versus an opt-in system, which means 100% of our all access passes become members. I don't think you understood what I just said. So think about this for a second. They're paying us up front, right? That's covering our ads costs. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
That's great. All of these buyers are now members. We lose about 28% of them. The rest of them stay. Month after month after month after month.
Talk about continuity.
Right?
Holy smokes.
And then, so this is before the summit has even started.
Yeah.
Which is when we pitch the annual package for our membership and then the tier 2 of our membership program.
Wow.
So that's what I meant when I said we kind of double dip. So we pick up members on the front and on the back.
And on the back. I'm wrapping my head around this. I mean, that's one, the retention bit is awesome. I mean, look, if you're retaining 70% of members that would churn, like, for example, my community, I churn I don't know, 40% every year at least. So I'm like, one, you're already crushing the churn rate. Two, you have the continuity, but they're also constantly being exposed to the upgrade, and then they still get pitched the upgrade
Yeah.
at the summit.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous plan. And I like that you have a constant stream of touch points for that academy to be brought back into their mind. Not just when they're on their course access or watching the recordings, but also then they get the pitch. I'm sure you've got your email newsletters and things like that that consistently bring it back to the forefront of their mind.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So I think you have an awesome business model. I'm inspired by it. But usually at the end of these episodes, I like to ask, I mean, obviously you've given me a handful of time here, and time is valuable. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I know that our viewers are going to get a lot of value out of this. Is there anything that I can do for you? Are there any obstacles that you are struggling to work through that you could use an extra mind on?
Actually, yes. Yes. Let's talk about that. So, we do have a business model that is working very well. So we're at this point where we have stuff that converts well. We can get people results in our programs. We just need more people in. I have a goal or a vision for our company that this is one of the ways that we're going to be able to change the world.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to help women literally take, like, I'm getting chill bumps, take their family back from, I don't want to say the point of no return. That's too dark, but take their health back, be more intentional. Like, I can just see the ripple effect of this. And I'm like, everybody needs to know about this. So we have been thinking about, what does that look like? And what does that look like maybe outside of social media?
Sure.
And I think about, we had a couple of clients come through our stuff and say, like, this, you make me think of like the modern day Martha Stewart. Like, she used to teach all these things and everybody was obsessed and, it was amazing. And so I was thinking about Martha Stewart, who is a household name.
Yeah.
I want to become, or I want our brand and what we're doing to become household names. So what does that look like? How can we achieve that? And I know, social media is huge. It's a really fast route.
Yeah.
But I got to thinking, people still watch TV. TV is not dead. Nobody is teaching what we teach on TV.
Yeah.
So it's actually come up a few times this week. If we did a TV show, what would that look like? Who are the people? Like, I have no idea. I have more questions than I have answers, but even strategy behind this. So if you have thoughts, I would love to hear.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Amazing. I'm down
The
for
first
it.
thing that came to my mind was like, yeah, I could definitely see my wife watching something on Hulu or Netflix. Or
Yeah.
like there's definitely a space for that. My initial thought was, how active are you on YouTube?
I'm not.
I think that's the starting point.
Okay.
So I'm big on YouTube anyways, bullish on YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world behind Google. Now, the beauty of YouTube specifically for what you're talking about, though, is that it is a place for you to showcase and obtain proof of concept, right? YouTube is actually one of the better platforms at getting your content in front of the right people, right? Just like other social media platforms, they're incentivized to make sure that their viewers stay viewing and engaged.
Yes.
But YouTube does it better than Instagram does. And YouTube does it better than Facebook or TikTok does. And the reason I think YouTube is better at those things is because YouTube viewers use YouTube as a search engine where they can look to learn things, right?
Yeah.
If your TV show concept is to teach the recipes and the sourdough making and, the stuff that was maybe lost when Martha Stewart went to jail.
Yeah.
Uh, like, you have a platform that's already available and accessible to showcase that and obtain viewership. Uh, I don't necessarily have any immediate points of contact that come to mind. And actually, that's not true. Okay. Are you familiar with Daryl Eves?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he spoke at some Funnel Hacking
Yeah.
Lives and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Uh,
Oh, isn't he involved with like Angel Studios?
yes. He's like the
Yeah.
executive producer for The
Yeah.
Chosen, if you're familiar with that show.
Love that show.
Love that show. He's active in the ClickFunnels community, right? He's done a lot of stuff in and around us and uses funnels. He would be someone that I would maybe recommend reaching out to. I went through
It's
his
a good.
YouTube coaching program not too long ago.
Yeah.
Creator Jumpstart is what it's called.
Okay.
But I mean, I think getting active on that platform, I mean, bumping elbows with people who are in that world, in that space, is probably a good way to approach that.
That's really good. I had not thought of it that way at all. Like, which sounds silly because I know people make shows on YouTube. So I just was not putting two and two together.
And if you're thinking about transitioning to a TV show, right? There's a lot of shows on Hulu. And I know Angel Studios kind of did this for a little bit, but like you're taking shows that were successful on YouTube and adapting them now to be full scale production televised things.
Yeah.
The YouTube concept, I think, is really good because it allows you to create an episode, right? Imagine what your show would look like on television and just make that. And there's people like, you can do the filming, the recording, all that stuff. There's people in our community that can help with the editing and things like that. We had lunch with Andre earlier and he's that guy to begin with.
Oh, okay.
But like I use Fiverr, to be honest. And for $20, I can pay somebody to do a quick edit for me.
Yeah.
But also AI's made that stuff really easy. For example, I'm going to take this podcast recording. I'm going to go throw it into script. I'm going to let the script do its studio sound. I'm going to play with the sliders when it comes to the lighting and how it looks.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to just extract that, export it, and upload it to YouTube. And boom, I've got YouTube. I'll throw it on, all the different podcast platforms too. But it's never been easier to get started on YouTube. And YouTube is the best in the world, in my opinion, at rewarding creators who are creating content in a consistent manner that serves the same audience. And especially where you want to be long form already, like you'll get good reels and you'll get good shorts out of this.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the television idea, if that's where you want to go with that direction, YouTube is the best platform to do that on. And if it works, you have proof of concept to pitch the show.
That's
or
so true.
people will see it and come and approach you about the show.
That's so true. I don't know why I didn't think of that. This is why these types of conversations are amazing.
I hope that was actually
Yes,
amazing.
it
You're not
was.
just saying that because
No.
we're being recorded.
No, I literally had not thought of it that way. I was coming at it from the approach of how do I pitch people this TV concept and like not how can I just start it?
So if you didn't know, I did 2, maybe 3 years as a political and economic contributor for news outlets.
Okay.
I would write articles, opinion pieces, and pitch them. Or I would pitch myself to go on like radio tours or television segments. And in doing that, it's hard to cold pitch.
Yeah.
If there's not already proven interest or people that they know are going to watch that show, that episode, they'll say no every time.
So true. Yeah.
So I'm like, even if you can just get something created that draws attentionship or viewership, the beauty is you already have a community that you know is interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
And that community is proof of concept that there's more women out there that want to learn these things. So let YouTube do the work.
It's really good.
And then you just take that proof of concept and you include it in the pitch. But also, oh my gosh, I got to tell you this. So Funnel Hacking Live last February, one of the last sessions, I'm sitting next to a dentist. I can't remember his name. Sorry, dentist. I know if you see this, know that I'm on YouTube now because of you. So I'm sitting next to this dentist, and the dentist is telling me he does all of his lead generation on YouTube. I'm like, well, you don't do paid ads or anything like that? He's like, no, I get paid for my ads. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, I make videos. I put them on YouTube. The videos are how a dentist brushes his teeth. What toothpastes do dentists actually recommend? How do I, approach these issues with dental health, right? So he just makes informational videos.
Mm-hmm.
People search for those terms on YouTube to go and learn about them in video format, and he gets traffic. So now he's got thousands of subscribers, and he gets hundreds of thousands of views. His clinic is in California, and anyone who is remotely close to his clinic that searches that goes to him. He's now their provider because he built the trust from having the videos. The videos have the views indicating that other people are trusting this content. So then those people trust him with their dental care. But the kicker is, he says he gets paid over $8,000 a month for having his videos on YouTube. So YouTube pays him for the content and sends him the leads.
That's amazing.
Now you lose that if you go do a big show. You might get paid a little bit more up front, but the beauty of YouTube for you, I think, is that you can put on the show, you can generate the ad sharing revenue from YouTube, and maybe you get to $8,000, $10,000 a month with a few thousand subscribers, but then you're also, all of that content is a lead for your business. And then the big money comes when they join the Summit Funnel or your academy or your coaching program on the back end because they've been exposed to you, because they built trust to you through YouTube. And then you get paid from that avenue as well.
That's amazing.
I hope that is something you can run with.
That's amazing.
So since February, I wasn't on YouTube at all before February. There's a guy in the inner circle. His name's Keats, older gentleman, right?
Yes.
He challenged me at Funnel Hacking Live after we're sitting next to this dentist who's telling us he makes all this money from his dental videos.
Yeah.
Keats challenged me to start on YouTube, and we were in a race until last April, to the last inner circle meeting, who could get the most subscribers. Keats blew me out of the water. He doubled me.
Oh my goodness.
He doubled me.
Wow.
And I was like, I was being consistent on YouTube, but I'm like, okay, I've got to get better. I need higher quality content. I need a better camera. I need to be able to actually provide value on that platform. And I'm doing it, and it's growing now, but the rate that it's growing is even faster than my TikTok, my Instagram, right? So I took like Adley's recommendation. I did the trial reels. I'm posting there every single day now. And I've done that religiously since that mastermind. And even doing that and posting dozens of trial reels in a day, I post one video on YouTube, but YouTube has refined faster to who wants to see my content. So I get views at a higher rate on YouTube than I do on Instagram or TikTok. And I think that that's a testament to YouTube's efficacy when it comes to getting your content in front of the right viewers.
Yeah. And I feel like, not to knock shorts or short form content, because I think that is valuable as well. But I think when somebody sits through an entire YouTube episode with you, there's a different level of commitment. There's a different level of trust with you that they don't get the same way from a 30-second reel.
So this is a crazy stat. And I looked at this earlier today. My podcast on like Spotify and Apple and all the Google podcasts, right? Most of my long form podcasts like this one, they get, 300 total views, right? But I got YouTube on one side, all other categories on the other side. YouTube, if I get, 50 people that watch the video on YouTube in, a couple weeks, I end up with like, I don't know how long this episode is, but let's say hour per hour. If I have 30 people watching, I end up with like 30 hours of view time. But when I go on all my other podcast platforms, even with, 100 downloads or something somewhere else, I maybe get 30 hours. The viewership, the connection, the getting it to the right people at the right place at the right time is just better on YouTube.
Interesting.
And I think it's because people are on YouTube searching for that information.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a more direct connection.
Yeah.
Whereas on Instagram, TikTok, it's just putting it in front of you.
Yeah, right. It's just trying to stop the scroll because that's the mindset people are in, is that
Yeah.
endless scroll mode. There does not the same intention behind it like with YouTube. It's really good.
Right on.
Super
Sorry,
helpful.
that ended up going way longer there at
That's
the end.
okay. No, that was good.
Shelby, I
Good.
really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thanks for having me. This was a ton of fun.
Absolutely. Where can viewers find you?
So the best place to find us is probably our Instagram or our website. So you can look up gardenfarmthrive.com or find us on Instagram, same name, at gardenfarmthrive.
Thanks so much, Shelby.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, that's it. Go team.
Awesome.
Thank you
Woo.
so much.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we went, but I think we went for an hour and a half.
Sweet. I can talk a lot, which is why I asked you ahead of time. Do you have a
Oh,
time
no.
limit for this?
Not at all. So most of my episodes fall within 30 minutes to an hour and a half, and it's just organic conversation.
Yeah.
I went for like 3.5 hours I was testing the way my coaching was set up,
Yeah.
and I did a Zoom call